Have you ever caught someone looking at you, and the moment your eyes met, they looked away just a little too quickly? Or maybe there's this person who acts strangely around you, and you can't quite explain why, but something feels different. Well, what if I told you there are psychological signs, subtle behaviors, hidden patterns, unconscious mistakes that reveal when someone secretly has a crush on you? And no, it's not just the obvious things like smiling or being nice. Some of the strongest signs are the ones most people never notice because they're buried under nervousness, self-protection, or pure psychological instinct. So in this video, we're breaking down the 11 real signs someone secretly likes you, based on behavioral psychology, nonverbal communication, and emotional micro-patterns. Make sure you stay until the end, because sign number 11 is the one people almost always overlook. And ironically, it's the sign that reveals the deepest, most serious crush of all. Let's begin. Sign 1. They act differently around you without realizing it. One of the clearest signs, yet one people rarely interpret correctly, is this. Their personality subtly shifts whenever you enter the room. Here's the psychology behind it. When someone has a crush, the brain releases dopamine, causing a temporary disruption in normal behavior patterns. They may suddenly become louder or quieter, become more careful with their words, appear slightly tense, adjust their posture, or even become clumsy. It's not intentional, it's instinctive. If you notice someone behave one way with others, but almost like a slightly altered version of themselves with you, that's a major hidden indicator of attraction. Sign 2. Their eyes reveal more than their words. In psychology, the eyes are a powerful tool of emotional leakage. Someone who's secretly attracted to you will do one of two things, both extremes that mean the same thing. Either they look at you constantly because they can't help it, or they avoid eye contact altogether because they're afraid you'll notice their feelings. Microglances are especially revealing. If you catch them looking at you and they instantly snap their head away as if they got caught doing something forbidden, that's not random. That's attraction trying to hide itself. Pay attention to how often they check where you are, whether they scan a room and their eyes land on you, if their pupils widen when talking to you. Our pupils dilate when we see someone we're attracted to. It's biology. Sign 3. They remember the smallest details about you. Someone with a secret crush collects information, not in a creepy way, but in a deeply attentive way. They'll remember your favorite drink, a random story you told once, your schedule, tiny preferences you forgot you even mentioned. This happens because the brain prioritizes information linked to strong emotions. Crush, dopamine, memory boost. If someone consistently recalls things you barely remember saying, don't ignore it. People remember what matters to them. Sign 4. They mirror your movements and energy. Mirroring is one of the strongest unconscious signals of attraction. It's when someone subtly copies your posture, your hand gestures, your speaking pace, your energy level. Why? Because mirroring builds connection. It's something the brain does automatically when it feels drawn to someone. If you lean forward and seconds later they do too, if you laugh and they suddenly laugh in a similar tone, if your mood shifts and theirs follows, that's unconscious synchronization, and that's attraction. Sign 5. They try to impress you, even in small ways. People with secret crushes often slip into what psychologists call display behavior. It's not traditional flirting. It's subtle attempts to show their best qualities without making it obvious. This can look like fixing their hair when you walk by, straightening their clothes, talking about something they're good at, showing kindness or competence around you, standing a little taller. They're not doing it for the world, they're doing it for you, even if they pretend it's accidental. Sign 6. They get nervous, fidgety, or hyper-aware around you. This is one of the most telling signs. Nervousness around someone specific, not everyone, often signals deeper feelings. Look for fidgeting, tapping fingers, adjusting clothes, stumbling over words, awkward chuckles, playing with jewelry or objects, sudden silence. Attraction can feel like pressure. The brain becomes overly alert, which leads to clumsy behavior and physical unease. If someone appears confident normally, but becomes adorably awkward around you, they probably like you more than you think. Sign 7. They make time for you, even when they're busy. Here's a powerful psychological truth. People make time for what matters to them. If someone with a full schedule still replies quickly, shows up for you, adjusts plans to match yours, prioritizes conversations with you, or checks in regularly, that's intentional effort, and effort is one of the loudest forms of silent affection. When someone chooses you repeatedly, even in small ways, that's not casual interest, that's emotional investment. Sign 8. They get jealous, even if they try to hide it. Jealousy is one of the biggest emotional giveaways of a secret crush. And most of the time, it manifests in extremely subtle ways. You might notice their expression changes when you mention someone else. They suddenly go quiet. Their answers become shorter. They look away. They joke about it but seem a little serious underneath. They ask more questions, or they become more attentive afterward. Even if they don't say it, their emotional reaction exposes more than their words ever could. People don't get jealous unless they care. Sign 9. They initiate small but meaningful contact. This doesn't just mean physical touch, though that can definitely be a sign. It also means sending memes, tagging you in posts, sharing interesting things with you, texting you about little moments in their day, joking with you, checking in when something reminds them of you. It's about connection. Someone who has a crush will look for little excuses to interact, soft openings that feel natural but have emotional depth behind them. If they reach out more than they have to, that's intentional. Sign 10. They show genuine interest in your life. There is a difference between politeness and emotional curiosity. Someone with a secret crush wants to know you, not just talk to you. They'll ask questions like, "How did it go? Are you okay? How are you feeling about everything? What do you want to do in the future? What's been on your mind lately?" This goes far beyond surface conversation. It signals emotional investment, empathy, and desire for closeness. People with crushes don't just like your appearance. They care about your inner world, your goals, fears, and thoughts. Sign 11. The pullback pattern. They act warm, then suddenly distant. And this is the big one, the sign most people misunderstand, and often the strongest indicator of a secret crush. It's what psychologists call the approach avoidance cycle. Here's how it works. Someone with strong feelings gets close to you. They're warm, open, maybe even flirtatious, and then suddenly they pull away. You might notice a shift in texting frequency, sudden silence, shorter replies, less eye contact, a weird emotional distance. But here's the twist. This doesn't mean they lost interest. It often means the feelings became too intense and their brain switched into self-protection mode. People who deeply like someone, especially secretly, fear rejection, misreading signals, or ruining the relationship. So after moments of vulnerability, they retreat. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much. This push-pull pattern is one of the clearest indicators of a hidden crush, especially when it repeats. Connecting the pieces. Now think about these signs like puzzle pieces. Each one alone might be subtle or ambiguous, but when 3, 4, or 5 of these signs appear together, the picture becomes unmistakably clear. Someone who watches you, remembers details, gets nervous, puts in effort, gets jealous, and occasionally pulls back is not just being friendly. They're fighting a battle inside their mind, one between wanting you and fearing the consequences of showing it. Crushes are rarely straightforward. They're messy, emotional, exciting, and terrifying all at once. That's why the signs come out in fragments, in glances, hesitations, slips of the tongue, awkward moments, and unexpected warmth. If these signs feel familiar, someone in your life might have deeper feelings for you than you realize. The moment of realization. So here's the real question. Why is someone hiding their feelings in the first place? The truth is emotionally complex. Crushes trigger vulnerability, and vulnerability triggers fear. Maybe they're afraid of rejection. Maybe they don't think they're good enough. Maybe you intimidate them. Maybe the timing feels wrong. Or maybe they're scared of losing you entirely if they misread the moment. But here's the twist. The stronger the crush, the more hidden it tends to be. The person who barely likes you, they might flirt openly. But the person who's truly, deeply into you, they'll show it in ways they don't even notice. Silent signs, small signals, accidental clues. And when you start recognizing those signs, you begin to see the truth behind the facade. The truth that someone out there might be thinking about you far more than you ever imagined. Someone might replay conversations with you in their head. Someone might get excited when you message them. Someone might feel a rush when they see your name pop up on their screen. Someone might be trying to hide the fact that they're falling for you, because to them, those feelings are both beautiful and terrifying. And maybe, just maybe, you already know exactly who that someone is. If you found yourself thinking of someone while listening to these signs, pay attention to that instinct. Your mind often recognizes patterns long before you admit them consciously. Now the question becomes, what are you going to do with this information? If you want more psychology-based insights like this, make sure to subscribe to Psychology Essentials, because we break down the invisible, the emotional, and the deeply human every single week. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, consider giving the video a like and leaving a comment about which sign surprised you the most. Until next time, remember, the mind hides what the heart reveals, and sometimes the signs are right in front of you. You just need to know how to see them.